Good morning, welcome back to Casa.texpina. We're on build day number 147. Build day number 147. Today is Friday. Today we got pretty much all hands on the fence wall. We've got guys on this side chipping off the top. They're going to smooth it over. They completed the post on the back. Up here on the front of the house, we've got them. They're doing the finishing on the top of the fence wall underneath the grate, underneath the grill. Continue with electrical conduit along the inside of that wall, on the inside of that fence line. The painters are on the fence doing the body filling of the fence grills. We've probably got a good 50 to 70% of our guys just on the fence line. The Tinsmiths have arrived. They are working. They are moving over to start working the long spans on the back side of the house. So the part that's going over the patio. So we'll take a look at that as they get going. Also inside, Mr. Wilson is still doing skim coating. So as everybody gets in place, or as I start walking around and find out where everybody's at, I will show you what's going on. So let's get started. So I'm going to start back here on the fence. They completed the service connection pole post here yesterday afternoon. They took the forms off this morning, chipped it up, so they're ready to start doing plaster coat when they get to that point. Right now, Mr. Joel and Mr. Carlito over here are chipping off the top. When they made the fence wall, they made it a little too tall. So they're chipping off the top of it, getting it to where it'll start accepting new cement, and they're going to plaster coat, do a smooth coat over the top edge of it, smooth off that finish on the top. Okay, over here on this end, Mr. Jojo is still working the fence caps. So we got these little fence caps here that they're working on, the precast fence caps, these guys. So they're working on those. Mr. Chucks is still working on the electrical conduit. Anay Bato back working on the electrical conduit on the inside. Mr. Jericho here is working on the plaster coating. We're doing smooth coat here on the bottom of the fence post, or the fence wall, underneath the fence grills. And that's the same thing that Mr. Willie is doing over on the front side of the fence, front side of the building, way down there in the red shirt. Now here in between, Mr. Junior, Mr. JR, one of our painters, is still working the epoxy of the body filler. So they're filling up all the spots where the welding, see how on these right here, you got a lot of gap right here? That's what he's filling in. So as he's coming along, that's what he's doing right here on top. So that's all getting filled in. Once that's all filled in, they will smooth it off and get ready for painting. And then also they're coming back in here and starting to fill in all these holes here where they did the cuts to take this tubular steel, would have been like this, and make it to where it can bend. So they're starting to fill all that in as well. So up here on the back of the roof, right up here, you'll be able to see Mr. Jonel is starting to get ready for roofing operations on the back side of the house, it appears to be. They pulled up the electrical line here for their drill, and they're starting to work that. So it looks like they're going to start working this back section here with the long spans. It should be easy and quick to put in place. All right, so we'll watch that as they get going throughout the day. Over here, we're doing a little bit of site maintenance, site cleanup. Got some time to clean up the site a little bit, get rid of all the excess steel that we no longer need. And the guys are also continuing to work the catch basin drains. So Huh? Yep, going low. Malalam is going deep, so that it'll be able to drain out. He'll go up to the front corner of the house, and then it's going to come out to the nearest drain, which is right up here on the sidewalk. So those connect into that one for the back here and all along this side of the house, and it's going to go into that. And of course, Mr. Jerome is finishing up on the swimming pool. Septic tank. Yeah, septic tank. He's got it to full depth, so we're down to 2.2 meters here, which is a little over 7 feet. And up in the front, he's still working his way. Just about got that ready to go. So he's got another couple of feet up there to dig down to. And he is kicking that all up to the side. Coming along very nicely. Oh, they're starting on the back with the metal roofing. They picked the hard spot first. They're cutting out the notch that's going to go around the roof line for the dormer window. So they got to cut that all out first. They'll get that one in. They'll start with the hard spot. Once they get that notched out, put it back in place, and then start working with the wire frame, the wire screen down here, and the PE foam that's going to be for the insulation. So much easier when you can see from underneath what it is they're doing. Right here we've got pieces from the dormer window. The roof line is coming back into the rest of the main roof, and they're having to notch out around it to be able to get it to fit. So they'll get that to fit in place, and then they'll start going this direction. Now all this too, they're going to get it into place. They're going to come back under this with the wire frame, and again also with the PE foam I was talking about down there on the ground floor. Actually, I've got some here we can show you. These are remnants that they've dropped on the ground after they got done cutting. So we've got the wire frame that they use. And these are pieces of the PE foam. So again, it's aluminum foil, double layer of the polyethylene foam here glued together, so it's two 5mm pieces. So this comes out to a total of 10mm thickness, and another layer of the aluminum foil on the back. So yes, this does only have a R value rating in the States of about a R10, but we noticed quite a difference on the ground floor. When they put in this side yesterday, you could walk from the main foyer down the guest hallway, and there was at least a 5-degree difference in temperature. Just ambient air temperature was so much different. So I'll get out of these guys' way and let them get back to work. We'll be showing you this from the drone later on today. All right, these guys are still working on the top of the fence line here, getting it all smoothed out, getting that finished look on it. This is still a little bit rough yet, but they're working it. So they do a little plaster coat right on the top edge here, just a little finishing edge. Now they do this on the top of the actual fence line, and here they're going to place another one of the caps with the molding. They'll get ready to do that as soon as this is done and dried. They'll start moving their way down there and put one of these on there as well. Mr. Jojo over here is doing finishing touches on these two. Notice he's putting the smooth cement underneath to get it as nice and smooth finished as possible. And then right down here in front, you see Mr. Jericho doing the same thing. But this is what Carlito and Joel are doing down on that end. Mr. Jericho here is doing the same just underneath on the lower portion. So they'll keep working that. And over here in the front of the house, Mr. Willie's been doing the same down here in the red shirt. Let's go take a look at what he's been working on. I'm going to walk you guys all the way around, show you the whole fence perimeter. We're getting there. I think we got 4 more grills to put in. Yep, see Mr. Willie doing the capping here, just doing a little smooth coat, plaster coat. Working on the capping, get that nice finished look on it. And then way over here on the other side, Mr. Ben and Mr. Romy are raising up the top of the fence line about a half a hollow block. When they did the measurements between this side here and the side way over there where Mr. Joel and Mr. Carlito were working, this side came up a little short. So what they did was they put a half a hollow block, and you'll see it down here where Mr. Romy's at. They put a half a hollow block in here, plaster coat all around it. They're gonna fill it up, get it all filled up with cement, and then they're gonna come back and do the finishing on it. So what's going on right now here, Mr. Romy's doing the actual mason work, getting it all up to the height that it needs to be, and he's getting ready to start plaster coating. Same what Mr. Ben has been doing. So they'll do that on the outside and then go around on the inside and do the exact same thing all the way down. So we're getting it up to the correct height to where it matches on both sides. Now, if you do look at it, the fence line actually looks a lot taller on this side of the property. What it is the elevation of the property from the front of the house is actually sloping down. Okay, so from the front of the house, if you can see the height of the lower portion of the fence line right here, you notice it's kind of small. But you look over here on this side and it's kind of tall. What it is, we've got an elevation change. The house actually sits a little bit on a slope. So it comes on down this way. So the actual natural drainage of the soil, that end of the street is probably about 2 feet higher than that end of the street. Just rough eyeball guessing. But we do have a big noticeable change just from one corner of our property to the other corner of the property. So when you look at it, the fence walls on that side look short. Fence walls on this side look really tall, but in actuality they are level. So we wanted to make sure they were level with, you know, each other, not a certain height off of the ground where you end up having this fence that's doesn't look quite right. It looks like it's sloping. So here we've got it level all the way across. When you look at it, all the lights are going to be level, all the top of the fence grills are level. It's going to be good looking. All right. After lunch, the roofers jumped back over to the cool side of the house. With all the afternoon sun hitting on the west side, on the other side they were working on this morning, they jumped over to the cool side. So we're back on the east side of the house, on the front side, and they're getting started coming down the other side of the hill here. Coming after they've crested the hill yesterday, or over the top of the hip joint, they started coming down this way. So they're going to work on that the rest of this afternoon. And 2 of our carpenters up here in the front, still continuing with the fence plaster coating, smoothing on the cornering of the top row here, top of the fence line. So what's going to happen now is when they get the fence grills completed and bring them in on site, they're going to have to chip out a small piece here in the middle, wherever that's going to go into, and get it connected that way, and then repair whatever they've messed up. All right, checking in on the progress on the fences. This is on the south side of the wall. Got it all up to height with the additional half a hollow block. Still working on the smoothing out on this side. All right, let's go check the guys up front. Still working on the body filling going into the fence grills. And the cornering and smoothing of the top of the fence walls. All hands on the fence walls. Trying to get all these accomplished. And the roofers have continued down this side. We'll show you this on a drone footage here momentarily. All right, folks, it's Yabba Dabba Do time. We had all hands on the fence wall today, so all of this cornering here got finished for every section all the way around. So they've been working on that all day today. We are expecting 2 fence grills in tomorrow, so they'll put those into place, and we'll be only 2 more away from there. Getting closer. As you can see over my shoulder, the Tinsmiths have made it down this side of the roof line, and they did a little bit of work on the other side of the roof line, as you saw in the drone footage earlier today. All right, a lot of business going on today. Everybody on fence patrol. So we'll see you guys here again tomorrow for Saturday for payday and more fence grills. So if y'all like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen. You'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon and God bless.